All right, a little bit late, but better late than never. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to start all over just as I'm asking you to do. So we're going to create a new project. It's going to be an empty activity. I'm going to go to next, and I'm going to call mine exactly what I called it before, so BMI 02. Okay? And, again, this will be edu.rankin.jpscott.bmi02. All right, so it's going to put it here, click finish, and boom, we get what we have at the start. All right, move this up, move this over. All right, some of this is going to look very similar to what we've done before. Some of it's a little bit different. But what I'd like you to do is to go out to your activity main.xml file. And let's get rid of this. Okay. And let's come in and add a text view. Put it right near the top. You've done this before, so you know how to do this. Let's drag it over both on the left and on the right so that it's centered, and also up. All right. So it's now centered in 3 areas, which is good. First thing let's come in here and do, we're going to change this to TV main. We're going to change this a little. We're going to call it main page title because it's the one that we've got on our main page. All right. And once you've done that, we've come up over here. Go over to your layout, if you would, if it'll let me in here. Right. Fantastic. What I want to do is I want to come in here, and there we go. Okay. And I'm going to just make this about, we might be pressed a little bit for room, so I'm going to keep it to 16 right here. Okay. So that's all we've got so far. Now, when you look right here, what do I have? I've got that error message that talks about the fact that the string is hard-coded. So let's do our strings right now. There's quite a few of them, probably about 12 to 15. So if you would please go under your res folder, and under res find your strings or your values folder, and under your values folder open up your strings.xml file. Right now it looks just like this. That's all we've got in here. And I'm going to start adding strings. So string, string name equals, what do we call that? Main page title text view. And it's just going to say BMI calculator. All right. Next. We are going to have a height text view, and we're going to have a weight text view. And we're going to also have the thing for our edit text that we'll put in just a minute. So this will be the height edit text hints. Right here. And I'm just going to copy it down, because it'll be the weight. And it'll say weight here. Then we'll put in our buttons. Have the title for our other pages. So the second page will be we call this main page title TV. Okay. So IND stats title text field. And that'll say individual stats. We'll have another one here. That will say group stats. And finally we'll say one more string here. I'm just going to call it what it is, back to home page. Now, what you are eventually going to do is you're going to add another thing in here because you will have another button that will say like show picture or something like that. We can put that in now. It's totally up to you. All right, so what I'm saying is we can put one more thing in here, but the one more that we put in, technically, it's not going to exist for a while. All right, does that make sense? So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to call this one images BTN. You know, and this will just say image. Okay? And you can call it whatever you want as we go through and start doing this stuff. If you don't like my names, that I'm, you know, keep these names, but if you don't like the names that I'm using, you know, in the black text here, then just put in whatever you want. Are you caught up, Keegan? Are you caught up? Okay. All right. So I'm going to jump back then into my activity main file that's right here. And we have come in, we've already changed the title on this, that's good. So let's change the text. So where it's got text in here, we want to get rid of that. And we want to click on our resources, little tabby right here. And we want to choose main page title TV. You'll know you did it right because this will change to BMI calculator. Got one of your phones? All right. And while we're here, we're not going to do a lot in here, but let's go down into your stuff here and let's find the text size. And let's make it about 30. And right underneath that, let's change the style to bold. All right. Any problems doing either of those? No problem, Keegan? Okay, and then let's do this, just because you haven't done this yourselves yet, so let's try this. I want you to just click someplace on the form here itself where there's nothing. Just click there. Okay? Then I want you to go over to here and I want you to go over to your colors. we're going to add our own color here. So go down to the bottom, color, name, equal. Now I'm going to choose yellow. If it turns out later, you know, I don't like yellow, Jeff, then choose something else. All right, but I'm going to put here pound FF00. And you can see once I've done that, if you look here, it is yellow, right? See that? Okay. I'm going to do a file, save all, and I'm going to jump back then into my activity main file here. And with, like I said, clicking on a blank space, I don't want to click on my text view. I want to click on a blank space here, and I'm going to go up to where it says background, right there. And again, I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to choose color this time, and on the bottom should be my yellow. Again, if you chose a different color, not a problem. But I think that's going to really show up. Okay? All right, so we've got that so far. Now, I did come in and make an image view next. All right, you'll notice that there's no constraints here that are showing, no constraint errors that are showing. You should have the same way. But I'm going to go over here and find my image view that's right here. And I'm going to drag that down. All right. For now, you can just choose the avatar. It's not going to hurt anything. That's totally fine. We'll worry about filling that in later. Okay? All right. So, as we've done before, I'm going to move this over. Oh, I don't know why it doesn't do that all the time. And I'm going to move it over this way. And I'm going to move it up to here. In fact, I'll move it down a little first, and then I'll move it up to here. All right. And again, I want this to be, let's just say 16. Okay, so it should look like this. Questions? Problems?
Yeah, my main file won't show up the word next to it for some reason. I've got the right ID in there.
Nothing showing? So go ahead and click on it again. Go over, find your text. Okay, let's look at your strings then. Calculator, oops, I don't see any wrong there. Okay. Text. Go back up to the top if you would. Move up to the top. It's okay to me. Click on this. And I think that would be it. Click the plus sign. Okay, change it to 16. Well, let's see if you have a problem when we put in the next thing. Could you try to put in the image view? You just choose that instead. And line it up. So make that 16 there. And you'll want to drag that over, drag that over, and drag that up. You might be better off actually dragging this down first a little bit. You can always reset that. No, not there. No, come to that. Okay, now you got now you got to remove that constraint. So then just drag it down. Now you have it linked up there. It looks like you do. Then just reset that back to 16 again and get that. We can look at that during the break. I didn't see anything that looked wrong in there. All right. Next, we're going to put in 2 text views, one here and one here. Okay, we'll put those in. I'm not worried about them right now. And I'm sorry, they're edit text. Jeez, Jeff. Get rid of those. 2 edit texts. So I'm going to come up here to text. Now, we'll want in here number sign. We want whole numbers in here, okay? So, put in a number sign here, and I'm going to make this smaller. I know you can do that because I've done it before. Well, we'll manually do it in just a second. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to see if it's going to let me manually put this in as far as the size. So I'm going to put in here for the width 100 SP. That's good. That's what I wanted. So I manually made that 100 SP. Okay? And I'm going to put another one right next to it. And as you'd probably guess, I'm going to do the same thing. Just the width. You don't have to change the height. I'm going to make the width on that one 100 SP as well. So now I've got these two things in here. That makes sense? All right. And I think originally, I don't know. Let's worry about getting this looking the way we want it to look. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to drag this all the way over. I realize it's going to be pushed way over. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. All right. And then it doesn't matter which one you choose first, but I'm going to come over here. I think it's going to be 64 that we're going to need. So set that to 64 right here. Come over to this one and set the side over here to 64. All right, you can see there's some symmetry here. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. And after we do that, I'm going to click here. Look on the screen if you would, and I'm going to take this and tell it I want it to go there. Don't worry, we'll move that back down in just a second. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. All right. So this looks like 64, and I don't know what this is going on here. All right. And that one hooked up just fine. This one's not. All right. Now let's rename these. So this will be, this first one here will be height ET, or I'm sorry, ET height. Of course I have to spell it correctly. All right, and the next one will be ET weight. And we want those to both have hints. Well, we've already added hints, so going back to this one, I'm going to go down to where the hints are. I'm going to click the resource tab here, and there should be a height hint. There it is, height ET hint. There's that, height here. And I want the other one to be the, for the hint, will be the weight hint. All right. Now, don't worry about it. These are actually, you can see that each one should be a little bit bigger. We could remove the word here if we wanted to. We could make them bigger. It's a hint. So having it like that isn't going to hurt anything, as far as I know. All right. So let's see. So my image view, it's telling me what? I'm missing a description. On my height, it says it's not constrained vertically because it didn't let me. There it is. right, and again, we're not turning this in, so if it doesn't look perfect, it's not really that big a thing, to be honest with you. It's 32, 64, it's 36, so that to be 32. There we go. Okay, so now the only thing that's missing from here is that no fill attribute. Remember that? So I'm going to go back into code mode here, and I'm going to find my first edit text. And I like to put them in order, but it's no big thing whether you do it or not. But I'm going to type in here no fill. What is it? No. Oh, cripers. I saved it on one of these pages here. It's on this one. Oh my gosh. Okay. Rid of this. So down here, I'm going to put in Android important for autofill equal no. I guess I should have moved that up one. Okay, so I've got that here right before my input type. See that line? And then I'm going to copy it and put it by the other edit text as well. Okay, jumping back then into design mode. That's fixed. These errors, this one still says missing something. We're going to figure out what that is in just a bit. I don't really care right now. All right, then next we want to put in 4 buttons. Now, what you'll probably want to do, like I said, I'm going to put in a button, 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 button. See this? Like that. But I'm going to have these way over. They're not going to look very symmetrical because I want room for you to put another button in here. That's going to be part of your assignment, is to do that. So I'm going to just come over here by buttons, and I'm going to put 4 of them in here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. That should leave enough room. See this right here? So I mean, if you want to put yours in right now, it's really not going to hurt anything, but we're not going to, you're going to basically do all the programming for that button. Does that make sense to both of you? All right. So I'm going to come over to here, try to line this stuff up. Okay, move this over. Move this over. I'm going to make this, I think we used 32 for the other one, but I'm not sure, so we'll find out. Looks about right. Okay. You can actually make it a little bigger than that. Maybe 48 would work better. I don't know. That looks pretty good. Okay. And the ones down here, I'm going to do the same type of thing here. And again, move that over 48. And then set that one up so that it's hooked up to here. Set that one up also to the side. And then 48. Move this over a tad. Okay. All right. And this one, I'll want it to be about, because we've been using 16. So 16 there. 16 there. This one again, you might have that in yours, just because I don't want those errors and stuff to be showing, so I'm just going to remove that one. But again, I'll want you to put that button in there. Does that make sense to both of you? Okay. So let's change this. So this one is going to be our calculate button. So first let's change the name to button calculate. And then find the text for this, which currently just says button. Remove the text. Click your resources tab on the side and choose calculate button. All right. The one next to it will be named, if I'm going too fast too, stop me, okay? This one will be button clear. I mean, this is all stuff we've done before, right? So, and again, go down and find the text for this and change the text. So get rid of the word button. Click your resources tab and find your clear button. Okay. And then underneath that, we're going to have this next one here is going to be the ID for it will be button IND stats. You know what? I'm asking you this question. Should I be consistent here? Should I call this BTN instead of button because I call the other ones ET? See what I'm saying? So let's do that. Let's call it BTN. I'm sorry. So BTN. And again, I'll just tell it to change the name there. And I'll do it here as well. All I'm trying to do, and not a very good job of it right now, but is to try to get you to where you're thinking in a consistent type of manner. That's all. All right. So this one is BTN IND stats. And again, I'm going to go down and I'm going to find the text for that, get rid of the word button, click my resources tab, and we had an IND stats in here someplace. IND stats button right there. Click that. Now we've got our IND stats. The one next to it, we're going to rename to BTN GRP stats. And we will again go down to where we've got the text and remove the word button and replace that with our GRP stats button text. So if everything has worked, it should look like this right now. Questions on that? Is that what yours looks like? Again, you may have to do some finagling here, or you can put the button down below it. I don't really care. All right? Okay. I'm going to assume, and maybe I'm wrong here, so let's do this. Let's go out and let's go out to Google Images. Images.google.com. Okay. And I'm going to put in here BMI chart. I don't know. And I'm going to look through here. This one looks like it would work. See that? Okay, so I'm going to right mouse click on here and I'm going to do a save image as. Now when you save these things, I mentioned this to you before, but I want to make sure you hear it. I'm going to save it to my desktop and I'm going to call it BMI chart. But when you do that, do not put any uppercase letters in the name. This thing chokes when you put in uppercase letters. So I'm just going to run it all together. BMI chart, all in lowercase, .ping. Both cool with that? All right. Then I'm going to come in here. It's been a while since I've done this, so if this doesn't work exactly correctly, it's on me, not on you. But I'm going to come over to here. And before I do this, this is where I'm going to want to put that chart. Okay? But before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out over here into my drawable folder right there. See that? And all I'm going to do is open it. That's it. And then I'm going to shrink this down, and I want to find that picture that I just put in. So I'm going to show you this is a way you can do this. Do you see what I'm doing here? Okay. And then I'm going to take this picture and I'm going to drag it right on top of the word drawable. And it'll say move when you do that, and that's fine. And it's got this then. It says, is this what you want to do basically? Do you want to move that file here? We do. So click the button that says refactor, and there it is. Okay? Now, we may have to do some work with sizing and stuff. I don't really care. All right? But what I want you to do is I want you to go back to here. All right? When we put this image in initially, when we put in the image, we just grabbed avatar, which probably wasn't the best of ideas. Okay? But why isn't it not showing over here? There we go. All right, so I'm going to click on this again, and right now, notice under the SRC compat, it's got this tool. Mine at least says it here, so I put it in the wrong place. If yours is under the SRC compat with the tools, just remove it. I want you to click on the other one that says SRC compat above it. Okay? And then click your resources tab. And is this going to work like this, or we're going to have to do it the other way? Okay. I thought it would be showing here under drawable. And it doesn't look like it. Not a problem. Okay, just come over to here then. Right mouse click on here. This is the image view. We should be able to we're going to do this after the break. I'm not going to do this now. Even if there's no image in there, I think I removed my. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I want to go writing some code. Okay? All right. Let's do that now. So let's open up our main activity.java file. Okay? All right. Oh, cripes. There's part of the problem. Notice when I made mine, I made it a Kotlin file. Oh, Jeffrey. Okay. It'll all be fixed. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to come in here again. I do have a comment, but I'm not going to put that in. I'm going to put in my constants. So as we've done before, I'm going to say declare and initialize program constants. And there'll be 5 of 6, about between 5 and 10. You've seen these before. Now, I'm getting the errors. You won't. I'm getting the errors because you use const when you are working with Kotlin, just like you do in C#. But that's why I'm getting those errors. So notice if I come through here and I change mine to const. All right. I didn't like something. Variable unexpected. Okay, but I know that's what it is. I know it is const. So I'm not going to do that. I don't mind. I'll fix it during the break. We'll take a break in a little bit, and then I'll fix this. All right, this will be 96. This is the same stuff we had before. So again, this is all stuff that we've looked at, utilized, etc. before. So it shouldn't be anything surprising or anything here other than the fact that yours will work and mine won't. Now we're going to do this the right way. Now let me show you. Don't type if you wouldn't. Just for a second, watch this. We said this before. Now we said, and I'm going to put a \n in here, so we put it on 2 lines. But we said height must be between, and we actually just hard-coded the values in there, 12 and 96. Now, technically, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with it. However, over time, this may end up changing. So this is min height and this is max height, correct? So we're going to do that. Why? Because it's a better way of coding. That's all. So I'm going to put a plus. I'm going to go down to the next line. So min height and max height. Okay. Then we're going to have another one for weight. Since it's almost the same, to me it makes a lot of sense to just grab these two lines and copy them. So this will be the final one for out of range weight. And this will be weight out of range. Weight must be between min weight and max weight. Am I right in assuming that that just makes sense to both of you? And again, I know we've done this stuff before. So we're going to have three more. Final double min optimal, which we're going to set equal to 18.5. I put final double instead of double. Good gravy. Min over, which we're going to set equal to 25.0, and min obese, which we will set equal to 30.0. Again, am I right assuming you're not getting any errors in yours, correct? Keegan, correct? You are or you're not?
No.
Okay. Like I said, I accidentally set my file type up to Kotlin. I shouldn't have been messing around with Kotlin before. My fault. It's fine. I'm going to go in and fix this during the break. So, all right, then declare program widgets, edit text, and we called the first one ET height, I believe, and the next one was ET weight. And we had a button. The first button we had, oh, that's the other thing. Notice in here, in Kotlin, you don't need semicolons, and that's why it's letting me know that with these red things. All right, so I'm going to put in btn calculate button btn clear button btn ind stats button btn grp stats. Now for yours, because you got that other button, so if you want, you can put in now, whatever you called it. I think we just called it like btn image or something like that. All right. You want to put that in, fine. And if you go, I don't want to put that in, fine too. All right. This one, what I decided to do is to go back and kind of do some stuff that like the way we used to do it. So we're going to put a decimal format object in here. We'll just call it BMI format equals new decimal format, and the pattern will be pound 0.00. That is allowing for a BMI up to 999, and not to be funny, but if you've got a BMI of 999, you're dead. All right, so that's those. Let's do the non-widget variables, and after we do the non-widget variables, we're going to take a break. All right, so I'm going to have here declare and initialize non-widget variables. Okay, and there's a few of them. So let's start putting them in. Int, so this will now be total underweight, and I don't think I have to explain to you what that is. That's going to be our accumulator for the number of underweight people we have. We're going to have an int total optimal weight, total overweight, and a total obese. All right, that's them. We're also going to have an in for the height and an in for the weight. We're going to have a string. I'm just going to call, string. I'm just going to call it BMI STR. You'll know what that is later. We're going to build up our string to print out some information. Set that equal to the empty string and another string for our status. All right, and that's also going to be equal to the empty string. All right, once you have that, it's 1 o'clock. Let's take a break and let's come back at 1:15 and I'm going to try to clean this thing here up. I didn't find anything wrong with your test. So
that's awesome. That's really great. I don't know why they're looking at that way. That was weird.
I don't know either. And I'm going to check on Keegan's today and see if his is the same way or if his is different. So.
Okay.